On behalf of sharEvery, I welcome you all for the advanced meeting of 5:31. Being host for the first time in the advanced meeting give me an immense pleasure. Thank you, Rambabu sir. Let's hear it for Coach Beena Yadav to introduce the guest speaker.
Thank you very much, Coach Sangeeta. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to introduce Mr. SOOSAI RATHINAM. Mr. SOOSAI RATHINAM is a graduate teacher of English working at Government High School, Melapanayur, Thiruvarur District, Tamil Nadu. He has over 20 years of teaching experience, both as a teacher and teacher educator. He began his teaching career as an English teacher under the Ministry of Education in Republic of Maldives for 5 years between 2001 and 2006 before moving to serve as a teacher under the Tamil Nadu Education Department. He has been training both lower and upper primary government and government-aided school teachers in ELT, that is English language teaching, and other pedagogical topics since 2006. He has a passion towards English language learning. He is also the chapter head of ELTAI, that is English Language Teachers Association of India, Thiruvarur, organizing workshops and webinars for students and teachers. He was one of the 2 scholarship winners from India by the British Council, South Asia, in 2019 to attend the IATEFL, that is International Association for Teachers of English as a Foreign Language conference in Liverpool in the UK 2019. After winning another scholarship from the British Council, he is currently doing his MSc TESOL, that is Teaching of English to Speakers of Other Languages, from the University of Stirling, Scotland in the UK. Joining the JCI Mannai Zone 23 in 2020, he is now both a zone trainer as well as provisional national trainer. That is an amazing accolades and all the experience as an educator, as a trainer. We look forward to your speaking session and learning more about Ubuntu. I hand over the stage to Mr. SOOSAI RATHINAM. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Sangeeta and Coach Beena for the introduction. Thank sharEvery for this great opportunity. So this is one of the famous topics that I have been thinking for quite some time. So this is one of the best opportunities that where I could just explore on Ubuntu, how we could incorporate this particular philosophy in our own lives. I'm going to just show you a short video. Just watch. And then let me ask you some questions after watching this part. What did you understand from this short video? Can any start sharing?
Sharing is caring.
Okay.
Whatever we have, even the small quantity also, we can help to others. But that helping is...
Okay, so we can help others. Yeah, okay. Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
when we see that someone doesn't have something, each one of
Okay.
us, it could be 5 people or 10 people or 100 people, just a small bit from our bag, if we give it to that person, collectively, it becomes a huge, which can suffice the needy.
Wow. Yeah, that's well said.
Sir,
So,
lift others and lift yourself.
Okay, so lift others and lift yourself. Good. So, I think your answers made my topic easy. So, the topic that I'm dealing with today is nothing but, as we just saw a small video clipping where the boy's classmates helped him to have his maybe lunch, and lift others to lift yourself. That's a key concept or a key words that my topic is all about. So it's like, or I am because of the world that we are living with. What is Ubuntu? So I will be concentrating on 3 aspects here. So one is what is Ubuntu, and why Ubuntu is important in day-to-day life, and how to incorporate Ubuntu in our lives. And Ubuntu is nothing but, let me give you a short story. Once a scholar was visiting Africa, and he was there in one of the villages, studying about the culture and food and tradition and everything. He came across a group of boys playing together under a tree. So he thought he wanted to give them some prize, and therefore he went to those boys and then said, "See, come!" And everyone, he asked everyone to come to him, and he said, "I am going to conduct a small race." And he said that if anyone wins this particular race, you can have the whole mangoes in the baskets. And he said, so this is the race, and everyone should stand in a line. When I say go, you'll have to go. The winner will get the whole basket of mangoes. And he asked everyone to stand in a line. And he said, okay, now all said go. And when he said go, none started running, but everyone started holding each one's hand and started running. And he was shocked. Why? Because this is a race and everyone should run individually. But the boys there held each one's hands and then started running. And they reached together and then started sharing the mangoes. And this scholar was astonished and shocked. How come that as a remote village here, these children are more worried about the others rather than winning and then getting the whole basket of mangoes for themselves? And he asked the boys, "Why did you do that?" And the all boys immediately said, "Ubuntu." And he asked them, "What is Ubuntu?" And the meaning of Ubuntu is nothing but I am, because we all are. One of the boys said, "One be happy when the others did not get their mangoes or their shares." So we thought everyone should have their shares, and therefore we held each one's hand and then ran. So here Ubuntu is nothing but I am, because the we feelingness. So one of the major problems that we have today is that we never care about the others. But this philosophy that originated in South Africa is very famous these days, and people have started talking about. And it's not that only we talk, but we even have to start executing and how to incorporate. And I'll be talking about how to incorporate in our own lives. So Ubuntu is nothing but I am, because we are. And there is a famous book on this, on this great African philosophy. And if you're interested, you could just buy this book and then start reading. And a lot of messages. And it was 2 great personalities in South Africa that they took this philosophy throughout, to the world, and people have started realizing that this is the most important thing these days. On March 5th, 2023, there was an article in the Hindu paper where Albert P. Ryan, one of my best known professors, wrote an article on what is Ubuntu. And he exactly talks about the book and the importance of Ubuntu being taught in schools itself. So it is, during schools that students have to be taught this particular philosophy, so that once they grow, so they can have a good society and then help the others. And if you're interested, you could also surf and then find out. When this philosophy came into existence, and you could see in the picture that Ubuntu is nothing but you could see in a small village where people sit together, talk together, they share, and everyone, they feel that everyone is important. But what happened today? So this is the best picture. Ubuntu that were in practice in those days and in the modern world, so we never care about the others. But when we have this particular, concept of or philosophy of Ubuntu, I think the world would definitely better look the way that it looks at the moment. So these two contradictions these days. So we want the world to be seen as the picture in on the left, Ubuntu in practice, but the real scenario at the moment is entirely different. So Ubuntu is more important these days. And why Ubuntu is important in the world today? And I was telling you that these are the two famous personalities who, started, not only that they wanted the others to follow, but they themselves left the legacy so that we still remember those people. So both were the Nobel Peace Prize winners. And on the left, it is Desmond Tutu. He was, one of the famous archbishops in South Africa. It was he who was more interested on Ubuntu. He has written, whenever he goes or wherever he speaks in the churches or to the people or to the communities, he was always talking about Ubuntu. And as we know, Nelson Mandela is again, and Desmond Tutu won his Nobel Peace Prize in 1984, whereas Nelson Mandela won his Nobel Peace Prize in 1994. Yes, 1994. Yes, and it is Desmond Tutu who said, he also talked about not what is Ubuntu, but he also told why Ubuntu is important these days. And he says Ubuntu speaks of the very essence of being human. My humanity is inextricably bound up in yours. We belong in a bundle of life. That's what he was saying. And people went and asked, what is Ubuntu to Nelson Mandela? And this is a famous quote that you could, whenever you read Nelson Mandela's biography or listen to people, and he talks of Ubuntu as, in the olden days, when we were young, a traveler through a country would stop at a village. And he did not have to ask for food or water. Once he stops, the people give him food, entertain him. What's happening now? That's what his big question. So, we know as many people like us must have come from a remote village where when someone visits, the whole village will talk to him and give him food, this and that. So what happens now? We live in metropolitan cities and we do not know who lives nearby. So a lot of differences. Okay. So here my takeaway is, my humanity is inextricably bound up in yours. So I am because we are. So that's the mantra that we need to live. Why Ubuntu is important? You could see a picture on the screen, and these people are called the White Helmets, and now officially they are called as Syria Civil Defense. As we know that in Syria, Turkey, a lot of civil war is going on. Even still you could read. There is one organization like NGO, they call themselves White Helmets. Wherever problem arises in the country, there are 3,000 volunteers who come out and without, for any money, help people. They could help the society. Their major work is when war goes on, when people wounded or there are problems in the world, or sorry, the country, these people jump into their problems and then start saving. And it is said, there are 3,000 volunteers from all walks of life. And why do they do that? And you could also serve their website. Their motto is just this: humanity, solidarity, and impartiality. That's the motto. And you could just surf in the Google and Syria Civil Defense, and a lot of people are helping. And they say, I am because we are. And they also have vision. It says, to save a life is to save all of humanity. I think this is what Ubuntu is all about. So I am because we are. And it's not only men who are there in the White Helmets organization, but even girls are there. They come out because, as we know, Syria is still under civil war and a lot of problems still goes on, Yemen, Turkey and all. So these people go everywhere, even if when an earthquake comes and people are affected, so they jump into their lives and then start saving them. And again, a lot of women. take part and become volunteers so that their country becomes great. And again, if you could ask the girl, I mean, women in their NGO, they would again say to save one life is to save all of humanity. So I am because we are. So that's the thing that they have. And the white helmet is the best example. Even now, they are more interested about their society in helping them improve. So once the society improves, they will see that a better world. So Ubuntu is nothing but helping the others. And you see that they also belong to you. And this is again, I've been watching this particular video for quite long time. As we know, still in Sudan, still, I mean, a lot of problems are going on. It was, I think, in 2020 or 19, the Pope Francis in Vatican, invited the great leaders from Sudan. I mean, you know, in Sudan, there was a conflict between the president and the prime minister. The prime minister seems to be the brother of the president. Even the brothers started fighting in Sudan, and therefore the country is in turmoil. I mean, now I think it's becoming good. But in those days, I think in 2019 and 20, Pope invited them to his place, and you could just see he asks them not to fight and just watch the video. You will definitely be astonished why such a great leader is doing this particular thing. So he's falling on their feet not to fight. Why does he do that? Because I am, because we are. So everyone in the world is equal. Why does he do that? Because he feels that the world is one. I am, because we are. There are three aspects by which I was talking about. What is Ubuntu and why Ubuntu is very important, and how to incorporate this particular Ubuntu in our day-to-day life. And I will be talking about three skills or three ways by which we could incorporate into our lives. The first one is humanness. And you could see, I think it was in 1901, one of the great philosophers, Hero Kills, he talks of circles of concern. And if you're also interested, please read a lot of articles on this particular circles of concern. And he says there are different stages by which every human life is all about. First, a human life is more worries about, gets worried about his own self. Once this particular self is, becomes good, he will start. Now, because we are all bound, as we know that man is a social animal, no man can live in an island. So one way or the other, we'll have to depend upon somebody. So we are because of the world, and therefore these are the different circles that we belong to. The first one being the self. Once your self becomes good, then you belong to a family. So you cannot just say that I'm alone. Either, we have got siblings, family, grandfathers, grandmothers, and somehow we belong to. And the third circle that you belong to is your friends. And the fourth one, once these three are good, then you will have a better community. So community is nothing but a group of people living together for a common cause, all we know. So once yourself, family, friends, community becomes good, or you have a concern towards the others, and all humanities becomes great in life. You worry about the whole world then. But once the world becomes good, and you worry about the earth, for example, the animals, birds. Howard Gardner talks of multiples of intelligences. So every human being has got some intelligences on different aspects. This philosopher talks of these circles of concerns. So once everyone has a concern towards the others, I think we will have the better world today. So what we could do as human beings, or what we could do by attending this one. So maybe we'll try being a self to start having a concern towards our family. Once we have good family, and then we'll start concerning about our friends, and that will make a good community, and that community becomes all humanity. I mean, this world becomes great. So this is one way by which we could incorporate is becoming a good human. And the second important point is generosity. Forbes magazine, I think it was quite a few years back, and this guy who you see on the screen, George Soros, and he's one of the best philanthropists best donors in the world as far as this Forbes magazine is concerned. What does he do? I mean, he has got more than 8.6 billion worth of money, but he has been giving a lot of money as a charity so that the society becomes great, so that the people in the world become great. And as we know that Bill Gates is, Gates and Melinda Foundation. So a lot of people are there in the world. The second important point that we could do, it's not that you'll have to give money, as we saw in the first video. Even you could just help someone, lift someone, so that we could lift ourselves. Philanthropy, or we know that these days a lot of people. And yesterday I was listening to a short video on YouTube, and the speaker there asks to find out how many people in the world go to bed without having a single meal. How many people go to bed just having 2 meals per day? How many people go to bed just having 1 meal per day? So find out. And that made me think, okay, so there are many people who go to bed even having 1 single meal in their day. Let us try to have this Ubuntu in us, so that one way or the other, it's not the money that matters, but somehow let us try to help the society, help the others. And the third one, I think, empathy. I'm just going to show you a short video, and I don't have to explain what is empathy, and this video will definitely tell us. And these are the 3 major things that we could incorporate. One is being a humanness, and the second one is generosity, and the third one is empathy. And what did you understand from this short video?
See, we should not get to a conclusion point without knowing the actual facts.
Okay, great.
So sometimes it may be wrong to us, but that is right to others.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well said, sir.
Thank you.
Understand other people's feeling.
Oh, exactly, yes. So understand the feelings of the others. Okay.
Stepping into other shoes, we should always think.
Yes. Yes. So put your legs into someone's shoes. Okay. There is a famous saying that I think everyone is aware of. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I think it's one of the best important questions. Do you have Ubuntu? Thank you so much for this so great opportunity.
Thank you, SOOSAI sir. What a wonderful speech. Now I request Coach Bandekar to review the speech.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta Jagdish ma'am. And I feel proud to myself to giving a review to a very beautiful topic because Ubuntu is basically an African word. It's mainly describing humanity. And to give in a more meaning, Ubuntu is nothing but I am what I am because who we are all. So without helping of others, it is very difficult to survive for a single minute also. That's all the meaning of Ubuntu lies it. Whatever the happiness we are feeling today, whatever the sadness we are feeling today, it's all the combined effort of all of us. So Ubuntu is means group effort, group synergy. And the way the SOOSAI sir is saying about the history, yes, it started with the running race. It's a real fact because whenever the researcher visiting in an African country, so at the first time, I mean, only the few people have collected few, I mean, the fruits or mangoes or whatever it will be. But he pointed out one question that he wanted to satisfy all the people. He put a question mark there that whoever is participating in the race, they have to satisfy all. Then the kids have decided that okay, we will not go fast or we will not go some slow, some people fast, some people slow. We tied up to hands each other and they started walking. The ultimate winners are all the participants in the race. So whatever the fruits we are getting in our life, it is the bless of all of our society, not our only our hard work. It is the blessings of complete society what we are getting. So helping to each other, that is about Ubuntu. And also the great statement by Nelson Mandela. I mean, in the olden days, travelers will used to get whatever the food, water, shelter, etc. and etc. But think nowadays, even we hesitate to give a single glass of water also to our neighbors. So from where we are going. See, previous days, those are golden days. Really, SOOSAI sir has remembered that. And whoever even the new person is coming to their village, they will give you like a shelter, food, water, whatever he required to travel. They are used to give that. But nowadays, it is not getting. So that's the reason, I mean, the civilian wars or the war for petrol, the war for, I mean, water, everything is emerging because of no humanity. Syrian civil defense, very few people will know about that because it is very difficult for the media also to reach and to coverage. So many people are in, I mean, hunger, and because of starving, they used to kill their own pets and they will eat them. That kind of situations are there in Syria because of no food, no money, no water, no facility, nothing. Even it's a great threat to their lives also. So really, I mean, SOOSAI sir has done a lot of research work to bring out that white helmets word. And how to implement that Ubuntu in our life is humanness. Yes, first we should be human. We should feel that I am a human being. But we are not feeling human being. We feel that we are a very great person having a difficult hairs in our helmet. I mean, on our head like that. So remove all the hairs first. Feel free and free, normal. Whatever the position you should be, and you will be there. Then humanity will come naturally. Because self, family, friends, community, all the humanity and earth, we should do the concern for each and everything. And second, generosity. I mean, yes, just you ask the question to yourself that how many people or how many of us we are doing some kind of charity work. All will say, most of the people will say that, sir, I don't have a time. But every person will have 24 hours only. Even Nelson Mandela will have 24 hours only. But what kind of service they did previously to us. Even to spend 100 rupees to unknown people nowadays for any social service or for any orphanages, we are not doing that. But he raised a good question. And third, empathy. So don't judge the others without knowing the actual facts. We simply judge the others. We will be in our mind and we will be judging them. So don't do that. Just apply these three facts, these principles in day-to-day life. Then definitely you will be treated as a good human person. Thank you to sharEvery for giving me this valuable and wonderful opportunity. Over to the host.
Thank you for that clinical review, Bandekar sir.